Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Before I begin today, a big thank you to Matthew for the virtual gift voucher. Thank you very much for the support, my friend. I really appreciate it. I truly do. Thank you for the support. But on to today. So I saw an interesting post a while back regarding the theory of Malcador the Sigillite being the true emperor. And this is something I've seen speculated before in the comments to my videos and discussed online. And seeing as Malcador is without doubt one of the best characters in all of the lore, I thought why not take a look ourselves and discuss it. So is Malcador the Sigillite the true emperor? And is the emperor as we know him just a mask or creation of Malcador's? Spoiler warning to begin, we are obviously going to be discussing events from all across the lore, from the heresy, maybe even to current 40k, so you have been warned. But with that said, let's just jump straight in. Now the whole premise of this theory, in my mind at least, really seems to stem from the fact that we know so little of Malcador's past. So much of him is still a mystery to us. How could this simple old man be the right hand of the Emperor and seemingly forever? Whenever you hear of the Emperor, Malcador's name has never been far behind. This old man speaks in the Emperor's name with absolute authority, as if he was the Emperor himself. And it's the mystery itself that invites speculation. So is Malcador the true emperor? Is the emperor as we know him merely some kind of pretense or tool? Well, let's begin with taking a look at why Malcador could be the emperor. I think the most obvious reason to consider this theory would be Malcador's psychic power. Let's make no bones about it. Malcador is an absolute beast when it comes to psychic power. And we have seen this several times throughout the Heresy series. In the novel The First Heretic, during Lorgar's rage at the raising of Monarchia, he backhands Malcador straight in the face. Lorgar, the Sigillite, tried again, but the rest of his words never left his throat. Malcador fell in silence, smashed aside by Lorgar's backhanded strike. Every warrior nearby heard the wrenching snap of bones breaking, and Malcador crashed onto the rocky ground 20 meters away, tumbling to a halt in the dust. And Malcador gets up from this. Sure, he's a little shaky, grimacing from the pain, but he gets up and continues the conversation. He's taken a hit from a Primarch, the very human, ordinary, old man Malcador took a hit from a Primarch that sent him tumbling 20 meters and got up and dusted it off. Then, after realizing Lorgar won't listen to him, he uses his power to communicate with the Emperor, and it's described as every word bearer, every ultramarine, every living being in a 10-kilometer radius heard the man's psychic voice pulsing through their minds. Such was its power. And if that wasn't a clear sign enough, without question the best Malcador moment of all time, when he literally and figuratively psychically bitch slaps Horus Lupercal. Now this takes place in the short story The Last Council, and if you haven't read it by the Emperor, you need to. Seriously, I've spoken about it in a previous upload, so you can go back and check that out if you want to. But during a council meeting, Horus, Jagatai Khan and Alfarius burst into the room to confront Malcador over the tearing down of the lost Primarch statues and erasing them from Imperial record. And Horus is irate. It's a great interaction between the two, with the tensions rising to the point where Horus is about to defy not only Malcador, but the Emperor and speak his lost brother's name. When Malcador, faster than human sight, just full scripts the you-know-what out of Horus, and Horus is fighting it with all his might, all his muscles tensed in strain, and Malcador simply stands up slowly, holding Horus in place. Horus Lupercal, with nothing more than the power of his mind. And there's some badass lines here from Malcador. "This was your father's command, boy. Boy. Boy." Oh man, I reread this scene for this video and seriously, I got chills again just reading it. My god, it's awesome. Malcador just psychically putting a Primarch in his place. A Primarch. "Enough. You will be silent or I will unmake you here and now." And as Horus's windpipe cracks closed, even Alfarius and Jagatai are bricking it, yelling and pleading for Malcador to stop, which luckily for Horus he does. So it's evident Malcador is insanely powerful, and it's very reasonable to see where people get the idea that perhaps the Emperor is some form of psychic mask or creation of Malcador's. And I'll even add to that because we have seen times when the Emperor is unavailable to speak with his sons in person, that he seemingly possesses Malcador and speaks through him. So who's to say that this isn't Malcador simply using the power himself to give this impression? And there are many times throughout the series where you could easily make the interpretation of the Emperor only appearing after Malcador has needed him to. That Malcador uses this golden figure as a tool to get his way, such as getting Lorgar to listen upon Monarchia. But just because Malcador is an immensely powerful psyker in his own right, doesn't make him the real Emperor. Because the question that this theory never really answers to me is why would Malcador need to hide in the shadows? Hide behind this Emperor figure? A being as powerful as Malcador, as shrewd diplomatically, as articulate and intellectual, the answer really is, he wouldn't. Even if he had the worst, most heinous secret past ever, which he might possibly have, the most powerful man in the galaxy could shape history to whatever he wished. So to me, it's not reason enough. And the argument because of his physical appearance, this weary, withered old man, not being a suitable emperor, I can't buy that. We've had kings, queens, presidents and even emperors in our own history that I don't think many of them got where they were because of their looks. And the reasons against the theory, I believe, are plentiful. The biggest of all are the many interactions and conversations we have been given between the Emperor and Malcador in private. These do not come across as Malcador conversing with some kind of servant or creation of his own. They come across as what we are told Malcador and the Emperor to be, the Emperor and his closest confidant, dare I even say it, his only friend. The Emperor and Malcador disagree in many of these conversations and have differing opinions. For example, during a discussion in the novel Vengeful Spirit, they discuss the Primarch's loyalty. Malcador has doubts regarding the Lion, but the Emperor doesn't, and is surprised Malcador does. Then in the novel The Buried Dagger, at the formation of the Grey Knights, as the Knights Errant are kneeled before him, the Emperor speaks openly and fondly of Malcador. Although my friend and I have disagreed on much over the centuries, Malcador has been right about more things than he has not. It was he who convinced me of the need for a new kind of weapon. He who brought me the design for a legion, unlike those that came before it. It was Malcador who convinced me that the war beyond this war is coming. I think it's safe to say that the Emperor wouldn't be referring to Malcador this way if he were a creation or puppet of Malcador's. These words come across as nothing but truthful and honest. I'll even reference the short story The Bald is Set, a short story based solely on Malcador and the Emperor. What some see as a highlight of the lack of caring from the Emperor, I see as another fantastic glimpse at the relationship between the two. When Malcador and the Emperor are playing a game of strategy to simulate the heresy before the War Master's arrival at Terra, and you witness the simple interaction between them of two people who have been with each other a long time. Of an emperor and his servant, yes, but there's a kinship there, a fondness, a friendship. The emperor asks Malcador a simple thing, like why he bothers shuffling the cards, and admits that he's more powerful than Horus, even now, but he doesn't know how to win. This is a man being open and honest, and Malcador reciprocates in turn, confiding that he's afraid, and his biggest fear of all is failing the emperor. Then throughout the course of this game, we get to see the emperor knows how to anger his friend, and it ends with a true sign of respect, as the emperor shows him that the one card he has on his side that Horus doesn't is Malcador himself, and with that he can win. The eagle tearing the throat out of the serpent. And there are several more moments like this, but the point is made. If Malcador and the emperor were anything but the emperor and advisor, we would never be witness to these private moments between the two. Or if we were, they would play out very differently indeed. I'll point to two Malcador-based short stories, which reveal more details around the Sigillite's possible history. I say possible because, of course, things are never truly confirmed to keep that mystery alive. But the Last Council reveals that he's actually a perpetual, who used to go by the name of Brahm al-Kador, and that he has a very dark history. And then in the First Lord of the Imperium story, we find out that he's possibly 6,718 years old, and that the Emperor was not even known as the Emperor when they first met, just the most powerful warlord on Terra. So we are being given glimpses into the past of Malcador, and the mysterious relationship between him and the Emperor, that are slowly debunking the theory. But the final reason I believe that debunks the theory the most is Malcador the hero. As we know, Malcador will give his life upon the Golden Throne to allow the Emperor to face Horus and be appointed Malcador the hero for his sacrifice by the Emperor himself. That act alone, to me, solidifies the respect and friendship between Malcador and the Emperor. The one final token he could give to honour his friend, for him to be immortalised as the hero he was. There's no pretense to that. It's just something that just would not happen if Malcador were the true Emperor. Let alone the Emperor still existing after Malcador's death. But an act of such sincerity just doesn't make sense. But as always, what are your opinions on the theory, guys? Do you think there is some basis in it? That possibly Malcador is in some way the true Emperor? Or the real power behind the throne? Or are you like me and disagree? As always, drop your thoughts into the comments below. I love to read them. A huge thank you to all my subscribers. Your support really means a lot to me. It truly does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too? But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.